What's going on, everybody? So, one of my viewers is actually a fan of mine, and he messaged me talking about a story and asked me to make an upload about this because this is something that happened in his life and he wanted to get me to talk about it and get my thoughts on it. So and when he sent me the story, it jumped out to me as something I needed to mention and talk about. So I'm going to read it to you now. Move it up. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting up to the story right now. Okay. One time when I was in school and was dating a black girl, a racist black girl insulted me, other white boys at the school, and their black girlfriends on Facebook. She basically said, all white men are trash and black women who date them are sellouts. We were annoyed, so we went to her Facebook page about it. We told her it was none of her business who we date and it's the modern age, and nobody who is successful cares about race. We also called her out for being racist towards not only white people, but fellow black people who date whites, calling them demeaning words such as coons, etc. She then said the usual, whites shouldn't be allowed to date black women because of what they did to us throughout history, and other excuses for her bigotry. Hold on. Then, of course, dozens of black people came to her defense saying, as white males, you have no right to discuss people of color opinions, or you don't understand why she feels this way because you're not black and weren't oppressed. Many even agreed with her and proceeded to insult us, and they called us racist, despite the fact that we were calling out this black girl's racism and simply defending ourselves and our black girlfriends whom she insulted. They basically told us, you're racist because you're white, despite the fact that that girl and them were the ones being racist, telling a whole race of people they're trash and shouldn't be allowed to date another race of people. And they called the black women who dated us trash. I hate this double standard. I don't like racism at all, but if a white person said whites should only date whites, they would be universally condemned, while black racists are free to say what they want without criticism. But to tell you the truth, the thing that bothered me the most about all this is the racist black girl used to be my friend. Prior to her making the post, I didn't know she was racist, and she seemed to be okay with me, as I had talked to her a lot, and we both had struggles. She was shy and had home troubles. I have mild cerebral palsy and walk with a limp. I even gave her advice on how to help her with her depression. She was also dating a thuggish person and wanted to leave, and I gave her advice where to get help for that. She didn't leave him, though. She's still with him, but she changed. She fell into the black supremacist claptrap. She watched people like Tariq Nasheed and became brainwashed. And despite all those times I was there for her, she judged me because of my race, even though she knows I'm not a racist person, and turned on me. She hates all white people now, even the ones who aren't racist and never have been racist, and the ones who used to be her friends and tried to help her. It's so disappointing. Please mention the important parts of the story in a video. It needs to be told. Okay, so I'll do more than mention the important parts. Your story is powerful, so I read the whole thing for you. Now, my thoughts on this is that this black supremacist shit that we have on YouTube, which is Tariq Nasheed is a good example. And there are other great examples too, like Cynthia G, especially her. She is the most ridiculous racism I've ever seen in my life. But you've got people like Umar Johnson as well. And there's countless others. B Miles 84, he's one. I've made a video talking about him before. But these people, they preach victimhood. They preach this black victim mentality that the whites are evil and that they're the reason we're having all these problems. And not only that, but because of the fact that they call blacks coons for, as Cynthia G says, that swirling makes you a coon and dating white makes you a coon, and saying that white women will get you killed and things like that. That's why they're so successful. That's why they have so many views, and that's why so many people actually listen and follow them and flock to them. Because not only are they preaching victimhood, but they preach a form of togetherness. It's like how cults operate, basically. A cult draws people in with a feeling of family and togetherness. And on top of bringing people in with that feeling of togetherness and family, those cults actually are successful for it. Now, when these people are hearing this, and they feel that and it gets in their mind that they're a traitor for doing this, and it's the victimhood. You see, it's easier for a person to believe that they're a victim, and it's easier for a person to accept things as a victim than it is to accept things with accountability. And it's easy to blame white people and coons for everything. That's why when I make my content, I get called coon, because I'm calling out issues that are actually going on, and people call me a coon to try to stop me from having a strong message, because they're in that victim mentality. These channels that do this, they promote hatred against whites. They promote hatred against whites, and they say that in order to love yourself, you have to hate whites. Now, the thing is, this guy said that this girl suffered from depression. Well, when she suffers from depression, and she has people making her feel that she's a sellout and a traitor, it's going to depress her more, and she's going to do what she thinks is going to help her depression. Which, in this case, is turning on the people that have been there for her, and turning on the people who have been loyal to her, and turning to hatred instead of love. These people, they prey on that. Cynthia G's channel has a lot of people on there that really, they have very low self-esteem. She speaks about the coons having low self-esteem as saying that swirlers have low self-esteem and that they're self-hating blacks. That's why these pro-blacks say that it's self-hate to be with white women, and that's why they say I have self-hate. When in all actuality, to not want to be a part of these black issues, it's actually self-love. It's self-respect, wanting to do good for yourself. Because there were other messages this guy sent me, like, before she started watching these channels, because he actually said it. I'll actually read that part to you, too. Hold up, let me pull it up. Okay. What's really sad, though, what's really sad through all of this is she used to be very strong and level-headed. She used to tell me how she wanted to fix the community by becoming successful at a career and set a positive example for other black children. She was an honor-level student. Sadly, after other people criticized her and watching black supremacist mouthpieces like Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, etc., she was convinced being successful was being white. She really flipped. She moved back into the projects with her scum-of-the-earth gang-banging boyfriend and now blames everyone else for her problems and her community's problems. Even Asians are blamed for it. Hell, I've even heard her and her friends criticizing the Hmong community for being a minority community that is more successful than blacks. And thereby, in her delusional mind, they are sucking up to white people by being successful. I shit you not. I shit you not. Now, the reason that this message resonated so strong with me is because that's a lot of things that I've said and talked about with this victim mentality and using race to justify everything. These channels preach hatred, and they use the hatred to bring people to their cause and to generate views. The only thing that these black supremacist channels and these pro-black channels do is generate division, is generate hatred. Because these are people who think that the issues, because these people care about their community, just like this girl. She cares about her community, obviously. And they say that you can't care about your community and do what white people do, basically, which is be successful and do right. That's the thing that's the saddest to me. That's why I got away from the black communities, because of that same preaching that they have in those communities and that same crabs in a bucket mentality. It's the same thing of when you have somebody trying to do better for themselves, the black community will find a way to drag you down. This is another example of how they'll do it. They will guilt trip you into doing it by making you feel like a traitor. They will shame you by labeling you as a coon. And they will put fear into you by making you think that the whites will kill you or turn on you. And to this guy that sent me this, I'm not going to put your name out because you requested it, and out of respect, I will respect you for that, because you're a respectful person and you seem like a very good person. And I don't need to, and it's not like you did anything to be exposed. But I want to say, man, thank you for sending me that story. It was very powerful. I hope my viewers that heard it, I hope they feel the same way I do about it, that it was a strong message. And if you have people that are turning like this on you, you know, if they're a lost cause, they're a lost cause. I'm sorry to say it that way, but it is what it is. If you do feel that you can possibly help the person, show them channels like mine. Show them channels like David Carroll, things like that. You know, these channels that actually speak the truth. These channels that don't preach victimhood. These channels that do preach accountability. And hopefully, people will understand one day that whites are not holding anyone back. Nobody is holding blacks back except blacks. Success is not achieved by kissing ass. You will never be successful just by kissing ass. You will be successful through your own hard work, and you will be successful through your dedication to the causes. And I wish the best for you, bro, and I hope the best for your friend too. If she's still your friend, if not, I still wish her the best, and my prayers go out to her. Divisive Legend is tuning out. Peace.